Hi, and welcome to Coliseum Hangout 150. It's February 24th, 2016. Haven't seen you guys for a couple weeks. How's everybody doing?
It's been a while. I'm doing good. Yourself?
Oh, busy. And it's melting like crazy here. You guys are getting cold and storms, and we're getting
Oh, we're good here.
summer
Melted now, icy.
Mm-hmm. We had a couple of skating rink weather
Yep,
patterns,
definitely.
too.
We had freezing rain today.
Ugh. We actually had rain one night last weekend. It was bizarre. Like, you wake up and it's like, it's raining.
Yeah, we had rain.
Not good. What about
February?
you, Ryan? Pretty neutral where you are? Pretty
Actually,
seasonal?
yeah, we're between the -10 and 0 phrase right now, so it's kind of cool. You wake up in the morning and there's a bunch of snow, and it's kind of cold, and then you go to work, and then if you come out and it's like nice, you could go out in just t-shirt weather almost. So it melts, and then it freezes at night, and we have this nice little layer of ice, and so you know everything kind of creaks and cracks right now. So,
Yeah,
but
that's where we are too.
it's like that's that to think are we out of the woods, yet in terms of the winter?
Well, we aren't. You
Almost.
maybe.
Almost. We're getting there, probably, right?
No, not here. No, not with the next 3 days of about 60 centimeters of snow.
Wow.
Uh,
It's coming your way, Siobhan.
Oh no, I'm not updated. But you know what? It's nice to get a little bit of snow because this winter we didn't get anything.
yeah, we have a little bit, but if we don't get a big dump in the spring, the farmers are not going to be happy.
Like last week, we broke a record last week with our 50 centimeters within 24 hours.
Mm.
We didn't get it.
Yeah, we got that Tuesday last week,
It was rain maybe.
and now we're getting snow. We're getting icy rain. Well, we're getting rain and ice at the same time. Pellets. Probably
Oh,
more
of
supposed to
course.
again tomorrow.
Well, it's been
It's supposed to be like that for the next 7 days.
it's been really nice here, which is a good thing because so many people are unemployed. They can't really afford to go on the regular winter holidays. So,
It's vacation time.
hmm, not good for some people.
No.
Anyway, speaking of vacation, or at least working ones, lots of people were at Mobile World Congress in Barcelona. Looked beautiful there. Did you guys watch any of the goodies that was going on?
I missed everything. I've been watching a few of the things after the fact, but I missed. It was a crazy, crazy, crazy weekend.
Couldn't find any streams that would actually stream.
Okay, well, let's go and talk about different things because this is pretty well a Mobile World Congress um, episode. And I did watch, so I'll be talking about my experience watching with the VR. So let's start with LG's announcement. It was the first one before Mobile World Congress. So Ryan,
Mhm.
big LG fan.
I am an LG fan, and I think if you've seen my post on the release, I'm both scared and excited beyond all excited about this G5. First off, it's a slightly smaller screen, big whoopee. It's only 5.3, but it's still a quad HD display with this quantum dot display that has the always-on technology for the top third. So that's kind of cool. I don't like the idea that they removed all the volume buttons. I got so used to using those volume buttons in the back, so now they just have the fingerprint sensor and it's an actual button. So it's kind of like, I'm not a big fan. Plus, the removal of the app tray, there's a whole rigmarole around that. But I'm really excited about these accessories. The idea of that gun magazine clip style of the battery, I think that's the coolest thing. That you take out and you pop in the camera feature, the 360. It has all these really cool features you can start adding into it. And with the additional the two that you plug in, and a couple other accessories like the 360 cam that'll do all the way around virtual reality, like the 360 VR, which wasn't getting great reviews. Um, so it just seems so cool that was that magazine clip style. I just wonder, is that hinge going to be okay? Is that something going to be that's going to last? And then my other thought is I'm always hesitant about buying the first one, because the next generation one's going to have more universal clip or whatever. Like I did that with Palm, and I had every iteration of Palm had a different clip into it to the accessories you bought into or whatever.
Yeah,
So
on the Trio.
so I mean, there's all those different things. Almost like I don't know if I want to get the first one, but I do want to try that out. I'm really excited to see. So you know me, I'm an LG fan. So part of me is not so excited about like certain things like the app tray, um, but I'm excited to see that the fact that again, I always talk about we talked this before. We're not looking for higher numbers and bigger specs and crazy megapixel counts. I want smarter things, and the fact that I can modularize and do that is pretty cool. I was excited. I think there's a comment from Sivan.
Just wanted to ask if I saw that they had the camera add-on, which looks very cool. But is that the same as the extended battery?
It is the extended battery, so the camera clip-in thing. All it really does is it gives you an extra 1,200 milliamp hours battery because you do lose like 200 milliamps of versus the regular the other LG version. But all it really does is it gives you a shutter and a scrolling for the zoom, so that you can do that, and one button for photo, one button for film. But I mean, it's kind of cool. It gives you a little bit of a grip. I mean, like we all remember the SLRs. It was always kind of nice to have something to grip onto and a little bit more to hold. So that's kind of cool. The Bang & Olufsen Play one that gives you a digital audio converter, so you're going to the high-res phone. So that's cool.
It is cool, but I feel that an extended battery is a little bit of an old solution to battery life. I think that they should really focus on actually prolonging the battery life with the existing battery and working on fast charging or.
Well, this is fast charging 3, or quick charge 3 or whatever it is, 3.0. So it's going to be fast charging. I mean, I think the idea was that it's more of a camera button charger. It just happens for the space they threw a couple of hundred milliamps into it to give you an extra. It's not. There's probably going to be, battery extenders down the road. They already showed off a couple of cases that snap into it. One was that life-proof case, so you can snap it in, and now it's like a waterproof case or whatever. So there's all sorts of things they're going to be doing for it. I mean, then again, I'm like, it went from a 3,000 milliamp hour battery in the G4 to a 2,800 milliamp, so it's only reducing by a little bit. And again, this guy still lasts me the better portion of a 12-hour day.
But with the G4, when I was taking photos, after about 2 hours of taking photos, the battery was completely drained.
Well, I mean, two hours of on-screen time of anything will probably drain your. Right?
Not with other phones. I've been taking many photos with other phones, but with the G4, I really felt it.
Okay. I'm interested, speaking of the camera, to see whether they fix the Z-axis image stabilizing, because that was the one issue with the G4. When you did a video, left and right, it seemed to be fine, but anytime it wobbled this way, it had a.
Well, we'll talk about it more after when I talk about Oppo and their sensor, because they explain how the technology of today works only on 2 axes, and they have a new technology that will work on 3. But they're going to be the first ones that will have that. But we'll talk about it a bit later.
So that's LG. I'm excited for it. I think it was the winner so far of the World Congress. I'll look at the first. We'll let others have their say about other devices.
Well, you guys know that I'm a Samsung person. I have like 3, 4, 5 Samsung items in this one room. So I'm pretty well embedded. And I am not saying it's perfect, but I certainly like the innovations that they bring. And one thing that I did bite on last weekend, for some bizarre reason, was a Gear VR. And I don't think that I've spent so much time with my jaw hanging open going, wow, it's a piece of tech ever. Just a totally different experience than cardboard. And then I actually watched the Samsung announcement, and I'll tell you, that was cool because I could sit and look beside me, and I would see a member of the audience putting their VR on or whatever. It's
very cool.
It was that is probably the only time I've ever watched a product announcement and stayed engaged.
Mm.
Probably because you can't really do anything else while you're watching the VR when you have a VR on your head. So Samsung did announce two S7s, the S7 and the S7 Edge, and I don't think there wasn't a lot of surprises there. It was definitely they went more with software and that kind of innovation than changing sizes. So they brought back the things people really wanted, the SD card, of course, and waterproof. And yeah, they upped the battery a little bit, but kept all the wireless charging in that. The other cool things they did was they brought out the Gear 360, which brings the VR experience, allows people to make their own VR experience, which was cool. One of the things a lot of people didn't talk about was I thought it was interesting, not only that they're giving a Gear VR with it, but that they really went hard into both audio. They went in hard into audio this time as well, but really hard into gaming. I was really surprised. They have that game hub with the Pi access, and this, I know the S7 is expensive, but to me, they're really pushing it as you no longer need to have a standalone computer. If you are willing to accept the resolution that you get with the Gear VR, you use the Gear 360 to take your video, you process it with the S7, you look at it, you share it on Facebook, and you look at it through your Gear VR. So I think this really does bring it to the masses. It's like, because yes, an S7 is expensive, but good VR
How
gear
much
is
is it?
expensive. I think it's 1,000 probably outright.
It was
The
nine for the
Edge.
S7 and then 1,000 for the S Edge.
Yeah, and it's going to be around 400 even on contract. So it is going to be expensive. But you know, when you look at stuff like the Oculus, which is what, $600, you have to buy a computer that will drive that. It's not just you have this. So after looking at that,
So it comes with the 360. The phone?
If you
No.
buy the
the
S7,
phone comes with the Gear VR. The 360 comes separately.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, they are still packaging it. I mean, I was looking at it, and after seeing it and experimenting with it, and Fred put his headphones on and everything, I mean, it brings a whole new dimension even to
For
Netflix.
sure. For sure.
Because you're looking around, and it's just, I think I'm going to get him, I'm going to encourage him to get the PS4 Sony VR combination, simply because you do not have to get a computer that would be able to drive that excellent, like the excellent visual context. I have
So-
kind
so
of
if
crappy
you-
eyes anyways.
So question, just again back to the VR, Gear VR. I know we're gonna talk about that down the road. Like, so you can watch like Netflix and stuff like that. What happens when you move around? It just stays fixed then, or?
No, you watch Netflix, and when you look around, you see the ceiling. Like when you watch Netflix, you're in you pick an auditorium to watch
Okay.
it.
Oh, so it's you're in
when
a
you look
theater.
around- So when you look around, you see the ceiling and the floor and beside you. I mean, there's nobody sitting.
Popcorn on the floor and the gum stuck to the bottom of.
Oh, they have a clean theater. The one thing that's really cool is they have a snap of a Cirque du Soleil, and they have the performers come out towards you and then sit beside you, so you can look at them. And then they have these two gymnasts, acrobats, doing ribbon sequencing that go up and down. So if you look straight ahead, you would only see them coming in and out of your field of vision. So you are forced to look up to see them. So it really is, and sorry, this is turning into a Gear VR thing, but it was also part of the Samsung, probably. It was part of the Samsung whole thing. So
Well,
you know,
Zuckerberg came out, right? They
Yep.
whole big, yeah.
and it was interesting because they would say to put on your Gear VR, so then you could look beside you and see people wearing it. and there were some breaks in the streaming, and I thought, oh, is this just crappy streaming or what? But I guess everybody got those breaks, and it was really cool when it sort of took that break and came on and then was right there. So it was a surprise for everybody. But I mean, having said all that, I have no intention of getting an S7. I did just buy my S6 outright, and even though the S7 has a lot of innovation, I'm kind of like you, Ryan. I'm waiting. I see this as a real start, and I'm waiting to see what comes along, especially with the Gear 360, just how it iterates along. So, you know, but if you're looking for an upgrade, like if you have an S5, this is definitely a good upgrade for you. You know, it's waterproof as well. It still has the memory card, and yeah. And I actually like that they stayed with the micro USB port, because that's proven technology. The USB-C still seems to be in the tentative stages. So we can move on to the Xperia. Sony had announcements too. Martin's going to talk about that. Martin's on mute.
Definitely. I know I was on mute. Yeah, definitely.
I knew
Sony,
that. Of course I knew that.
Of course. Sony had two releases, the Xperia X and the Xperia X Performance, in which we will actually see in Canada the Xperia X Performance. More than likely, the only carrier that's carried it over in Canada is going to be at Bell. But I'm looking forward to seeing the device here as well. It looked pretty promising for being a mid to high-end range phone, and the specification, if you look at it, pretty much looks like it is a premium device without being a premium device, if you know what I mean. But it's going to be interesting. They did up their camera on it. It's a 23 megapixel now with their newest sensor, which should be interesting to see for pictures in low light and whatnot. So I'm looking forward to that. Outside of that, like I said to Ryan earlier, it all depends on the best hardware I can get for the lowest price possible. So we'll have to see what the pricing in Canada will be for that device. And yeah, also Sony announced that the Z series is now at its end, and the Xperia X is the one taking over.
Well, the numbers were getting a little high.
I might have to bring out that Sony did include in the Xperia X up to 200 gigabyte worth of storage via micro SD, which should be very interesting.
But 200.
I think that's with Samsung as well. There's maxes at 200 on the SD card.
Because LG can do 2 terabyte, can do a 2 terabyte one. But they also announced the Xperia XA. But I thought it was really neat. I didn't really dive into it too much, but was the Sony announcement. They also talked about a slew of concept products. Mm-hmm. So kind of like the little Moto earpiece thing. That would be, there was like an Xperia ear. Mm-hmm. There was all sorts of like
a whole bunch of accessories coming out.
Yeah, a whole slew of accessories that they were like, these are just concept stuff right now. And I was like, I saw a few of them. I was like, that's pretty cool. That's pretty, again, ballsy, because I mean, what I'm hoping to see is that they're not gonna have to update these X lines like they have the Z lines like every 6 months. This is where the idea, in my mind, the idea of modular phones, not to go back to LG or anything, but like if you get a good phone and then you just say, well, here's how we enhance that experience with this new device. So you don't have to buy the new one or whatever, or feel that in 6 months we have to release another one. Because that was kind of a pain that every 6 months, here's a Z2, Z3, Z4, Z5, and
yeah, it was getting silly.
But it was good to note that they actually released a whole bunch of accessories, but will we see them in Canada? That's a different story. The only thing we have confirmed right now is the X Performance that we're going to see so far.
But then we don't know. Like even at the booth, they were saying people that were there were saying that these are all just concepts. They're not real yet either. They're ideas of what they could do, which I think is better. Get that out of the way right away.
No promises.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, and then of course there were some mid-range devices, a couple of them announced. Ryan, you want to talk about those?
Yeah, so just the ZTE Blade V7 and the Blade V7 Lite. Now, I don't think the Blade series ever came to Canada either, so I'm not going to talk too much about them. But again, they're very standard, 1080i 2 gig of RAM sort of devices that are looking pretty cheap. So I know ZTE tends to usually go to sometimes the Wind carrier, just the cheaper carrier. But I mean, they tend to have the cheaper price line devices like Huawei and not that they're cheap stuff, anyways. But like again, the midline stuff. Because Huawei made that 6SP, which I drool over every time my friend pulls out of her pocket. Anyways, but like so again, these economy-ish line phones. So that's the Blade 7, V7, and V7 Lite. Alcatel, which I loved the Idol last year, and I still kind of miss it when a friend destroyed his phone, and so I sold him at a very, very good price for him the Idol last year. So the new Idol this year, which they dropped the One Touch name, so it's now just Alcatel Idol, which is nice because I hated that mouthful of Alcatel One Touch Idol 3. So the Idol 4 and 4S are very similar to the 3 last year with a nice reversible, just like you can pick it up and it's upside down or not, doesn't matter. The idea being is that there's the Idol 4 or the 4S. The 4S just comes in a slightly higher processor. And I thought it came in Quad HD display, but I guess I'm wrong. I'm looking at another website here, and it's looking wrong, but it's just slightly. Okay. So that's it. So those are the two, and again, those are really cool. I really like Alcatel stuff the last. I was surprised how much they crammed into that device for the price, and it was I think the best bang for your buck out there. So I'll be interested to watch the Idol versions come out this year.
Well, and those come out as unlocked devices, and they are pretty well worldwide then?
I believe so, yeah.
So, like for me, I do travel every year. It'd be kind of nice. I like, my phone is unlocked, but sometimes you just kind of want to not take your big expensive stuff with you on holiday.
Oh.
So, I'll have to take a look at some of these mid-range phones, and they can use cardboard at home. Let's see, we're up to Marshmallow updates. I still do not have one. However, other people are enjoying their sweet treat.
Indeed, HTC One A9 is receiving Marshmallow 6.0.1. So for the people that have actually got the One A9, just do a little update and you'll get your Marshmallow craze. Not everybody's been getting Marshmallow. I'm still waiting for mine. Apparently, it's not go till the end of March, probably April. So, but I want Marshmallow as well.
And Ryan, you said the ZTE?
Yeah, so the ZTE Axon Pro got it. Now the Axon Non-Pro hasn't got it yet. It's apparently was delayed. It should have been out at the same time, but something caused a delay. They didn't really say what. But the Axon Pro got it, and I just wrote a quick article, but that it really didn't do much for the update. It just brought in stuff like Now on Tap, which is cool, and Doze. Other than that, nothing really new at all, except that's a little better. Anyways, that's and I got my LG G Watch finally got Marshmallow, I think, last week. So it's been a couple weeks since we talked. So.
Well, Siobhan, you are a big Oppo fan, and they had some really cool announcements at Mobile World Congress. So I'm sure you were pumped to, and really innovative change.
Yes, they didn't announce any new devices. We were hoping maybe for a Find 9, but what they did announce is just new technologies that they're going to implement in their next device. So two very exciting things. First of all is the SuperVOOC. They already have a fast charger called VOOC, VOOC. Now it will be a faster one. At the moment, it can charge a battery to 75% in about half an hour, and the SuperVOOC will charge a battery of 2400 mAh in 15 minutes. So that's really fast. For people like me that travel, that go to conferences, it's amazing because you have 10 minutes between meetings. You plug it in, and you're good to go for the rest of the day. So really, with the fast charger like that, you really don't need to worry about battery life. A little boost throughout the day, and you're good to go.
And I
The,
think that,
mhm.
sorry, I was going to say, I think that's what a lot of the manufacturers are doing. Like I noticed, even with my S6, I can plug it in for 20 minutes in the morning, and it charges 50%. That's more than enough to
Right.
get me through part of the way. You know, for someone like you who's more of a power user, this full type of charge is really important.
Right, because I feel that the batteries themselves are not ready to last us more than a full day.
Mm-hmm.
So the companies are trying to figure out ways to still make it better for us and easier and make the phone last longer with alternatives. So fast charging is really an alternative because they're still working on new technologies for batteries that will last longer. But until then, fast charger is a great solution.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing they announced is a new sensor for um, image stabilization for the camera, um, which
That was
is
cool.
the first of its kind. Until today, all the companies are using a lens-based stabilizer, which works only on two axes. So their sensor will work on three. So that's a huge improvement. There's other good things about it. It will be faster. It will take less power. So when you're out and you take a lot of photos, it actually doesn't use as much power as current technologies. And also it doesn't overheat the device. So it actually affects the quality of the photos. So when you take a lot of photos, it maintains the quality of the photos. So it's fast, it's efficient, um, it works on three axes, so it's going to create amazing photos. Oppo already has an amazing cameras on older phones, almost the mid to high end phones. So with this new technology, I can just imagine how good the camera will be. I can't wait for a new device to be announced, and we'll have to wait and see. I wrote two articles that explain more about this technology and how it works, both of them. A lot of people think that the fast charger is not safe, that it will overheat your phone, but it's the opposite. It's actually their technology works on a low voltage system, so it actually does not overheat your device. The power that goes into your device is already it's already low voltage. It's not like other systems, other fast chargers that convert it to a lower voltage in the device. So it's very safe and very efficient and nothing to worry about, and it doesn't affect the lifespan of the battery because it's a special battery and they're going to use special materials. So it's very safe and very efficient.
Oh, and speaking of heating, that's one thing that Samsung had brought out in there. Theirs as well was it's going to have liquid cooling in theirs. They've got a little liquid in there that as your device gets hot, it expands and distributes the heat up the side of the device and gets rid of that localized heating. To have a one device that had like the cool camera, the liquid cooling, the fast would be so cool.
Right.
However, so expensive. It's good to see innovation in mobile devices. You know, that's one thing that competition really has done, and it's really brought a lot of stuff to the, you know, a lot of new technology for Android users.
Right.
And that sort of wraps up Mobile World Congress. We have a couple other things, um, more Android related. So, Martin, you were going to talk about Gmail.
Yeah, Gmail just today got announced that now you can have rich text formatting within your email. So for the people that have been wanting for over time to actually be able to bold, put some stuff in italic, underline, and do formatting to your text while you send an email, you'll actually be able to do it in Gmail now as soon as version 6 rolls out to you. And I've actually grabbed. You can actually go online and grab the APK on APK Mirror and just sideload it if you want. It actually works pretty fine, and you're getting a full-fledged email client more than what we had before. So it's just not text now. We're getting the whole shebang that goes with it.
Oh, that'll be kind of nice.
I'm going to download right now.
I've already done that. The next thing you know that was also announced is today we also had Google Plus. Google Plus on Android had a nice little update. You can also grab the APK on APK Mirror, and it's mostly going to be geared toward the communities, where you actually will have moderator tools within Google Plus now to actually be able to moderate the Google communities much better for people. They've also improved the performance of opening links in Google Plus, where you would get the new Chrome tab that will just pop up from underneath, and you'll actually load the content much faster, as it will be doing caching over Wi-Fi. So if you're on Wi-Fi and you're browsing through your Google Plus feed, and if there's related links that you're on screen, it'll preload the pages in the background for you, making your browsing experience of pages within Google Plus much faster.
Very nice. And one that just came out just earlier today was Facebook added some more.
Indeed. With the new like and
yeah, it's on my Facebook already. Yeah.
I didn't get it.
You have to. So if you go into Facebook now, you instead of liking, you instead of clicking the like button.
It doesn't work for me.
I just showed up to this when I was wanting to say, I'm like, so if you hold down the like button, and now it gives you the things like, do you want?
Yeah, my husband showed me on his iPhone, but I don't have that.
And I was like, oh, look, hon, I got these things. And she was like, yeah, I got it already. I'm like, oh,
yeah, it's been live on the Facebook mobile on Facebook mobile for about 2 days now.
Oh, I didn't update, of course. Okay.
Ah.
Aha.
Gotta be
Okay,
in it to win it.
Updating.
Okay, I'm downloading the Gmail one right myself.
I don't know if people can see it now, but
Okay, well, I think it's
there you
time
go.
to say goodnight, since everybody has lost interest in talking to each other, and we're going to be those
Now
people
we're
that
updating.
just stare at our mobile. We can stare at our mobile devices. Only we're going to do it live online. So,
I'm gonna show just about that. Like, did you get that thing? Yes, got it.
Yeah, I haven't been using the Facebook app at all. I've just been using the website now.
I should do that too. I've noticed Page Manager has been a huge drain.
Oh man,
I've heard a lot.
like 30% worth of battery in a span of 8 hours. No, thank you.
Wow.
Well, how do I get rich text?
Okay, I think that we're done.
You have to highlight your word.
Okay, we're going to play with our new apps, and everybody have a good evening.
Take care, guys. Have a good weekend.
Thank you very much. Good night.
Bye, everybody.